Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. I'm going to be talking about HOMEWORX Pumpkin Ginger Snap. Now, this fragrance is one of their standard 18 wick or 18 wick. Goodness, I hope not 18 wicks. I mean, we should really get some good performance if it had 18 wicks. 18-ounce 4-wick vessels with the beautiful wraparound label. You can see how pretty it is when the flames are illuminated behind it. Fragrance notes listed on this candle are pumpkin puree, harvest spice, ginger zest, vanilla caramel. The pour date of this candle that I am reviewing is May 7th, 2024. That seems to be a very popular pour date with a lot of these fall candles that I have been reviewing from HOMEWORX recently. They must have just decided that was the date to pour all of their fall collection because it seems like almost all of the candles that I've reviewed recently have had that pour date. I do always like to include that because we do know that with a lot of these brands, there can be batch variations. And so therefore, if you get this candle and you have a different pour date, you may experience something different than I do, or maybe you will have a similar experience. I do always list in the description box down below for you the fragrance notes as well as the pour date and all of the information pertaining to the layout of my home, environmental factors, so that way you know where I am coming from when I give my assessment of how this candle performs for me. I am actually going to share with you guys the fragrance notes that are listed on the Slatkin & Co. website that are a little bit more in depth because I do feel like there are some fragrance notes listed in that more drawn out description than on the initial bottom of the candle that I am picking up on. So I think that you might like to hear those. Top notes on this candle are orange, lemon, ginger, and eucalyptus. Mid notes of clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, pimento berry. Base notes of vanilla, caramel, and fir balsam. So what does my nose smell? A lot of people have asked how gingery is this candle. And I will tell you that I do smell ginger. Those top notes of like lemon, orange, and eucalyptus, I honestly don't smell those. I do smell ginger in here. However, I feel like the ginger is a very pleasant ginger. It's not super sharp. In fact, I think that the mid notes that are listed, which are clove, nutmeg, and cinnamon, definitely go hand in hand with the ginger to therefore give you that like ginger snap cookie type of fragrance. Interestingly enough, it's mentioned or it's called pumpkin ginger snap, but I think that a lot of brands at this time of year just throw the word pumpkin in for marketing. I don't really detect any pumpkin in this fragrance, to be honest with you. I would describe this fragrance as being a really nice fall to holiday transitional scent. I see myself burning this candle more so in the month of November. And the reason why is because, yes, ginger, like gingerbread type of fragrances, ginger fragrances, I usually do associate with that time right before the holidays. However, when I looked at these in depth fragrance notes, I was like, that's the note that I wouldn't necessarily think I would find in a gourmand candle. But I think the reason why I'm thinking this candle is really a holiday scent is because that base note, they have vanilla, caramel. Now, the caramel, I'm not really detecting. We know that Harry, you can detect, he likes to throw caramel into a lot of his gourmand fragrances. And the vanilla, I can maybe a hint of vanilla in here, but this is not an overly vanilla fragrance. The one that surprised me in there is that fir balsam. Oddly enough, you guys, the fir balsam is not enough in this fragrance that you would think, oh, this is a tree fragrance. Not at all. But I do think that it lends an element of maybe some type of coziness that just goes hand in hand with a ginger snap cookie during this time of year. I mean, obviously not September, but more so going into the holidays. There is something about this fragrance that for whatever reason, I see this more as a holiday fragrance. Like I said, like a November type of scent, getting me ready for Christmas, more so than a true quote unquote fall scent. That being said, I really, really like it. I do get, it smells like to me like you are baking ginger snap cookies in your home. And maybe there might be a little bit of I don't think that there, I'm trying hard to describe this way because I don't want people to buy this candle thinking that there's a tree note in there. There's not, but well, let me go back here. Rewind. There is technically a tree note listed in here, but I don't want people purchasing it thinking that they are going to pick up on a tree note. However, I can see why it's added in here because this fragrance to me does remind me of baking some ginger snap cookies, and maybe you have your Christmas tree already up. I don't know. It's a really, really nice fragrance. But that being said, this is a gourmand fragrance. I don't detect pumpkin. It is definitely a ginger snap cookie. It smells really, really good, and I do enjoy it. So let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. You can see I've got pretty solid flames on this candle. It's burning very cleanly, a little tiny bit of carbon residue at the end. I have been trimming that off at the end of each burn, or actually prior to each burn. I usually wait until the wax hardens before I do any like trimming with my wicks. I do use a wick dipper to extinguish the candles. You've got a little bit of wick residue in the wax pool, but it's not terribly bad. What else was I going to say here? Sorry, I always lose my train of thought, when this thing gets a little bit wonky. The strength and throw on this candle, I'm going to give it, oddly enough, the strength of this candle is around a 7, but the throw is an 8, a good solid 8.5 actually. It's a really nice fragrance. I do think that the strength of it is probably just right. If it were any stronger, some people might find it offensive. But the throw is quite good out in the open concept. I can definitely smell it all throughout the living room. It throws into the kitchen. But again, it's not a smack you in the face type of fragrance. It's very, very pleasant. So if you are somebody where ginger, like just the note of ginger in there makes you a little bit nervous, to me, like I was saying, the ginger is very, very well balanced out by those mid note spices of clove, nutmeg, and cinnamon. It's not super red hot cinnamon, but it does definitely make you think of a ginger snap cookie, which, obviously those are fragrant, those are spices that would be part of baking that type of cookie. Very, very yummy, very good holiday gourmand type of fragrance. I definitely see myself setting this one aside until November, and then I will break it back out. But this candle does get 2 thumbs up for me. I would say that this candle, as well as the Haunted Apple Woods, have probably been my favorite fragrances that I have tried so far from the fall 2024 lineup. Haunted Apple Woods is more so a fragrance that I would burn right now. This is a fragrance that I see myself burning a little bit later, but this does get 2 thumbs up from me. Feel free to comment down below if you have purchased this candle, what your burn experience has been with it. I know that, HOMEWORX candles, sometimes everybody has different experiences with them. Some people have wick issues, some people don't. Some people can smell the fragrance, some people don't. I even had a couple of friends say that recently on their caramel apple, there were a couple of people who are fellow ambassadors for the brand that said they got theirs in and they think that something was off about it. And in fact, one of them, it was McKenna from the Joyful Candle. She said that she went ahead and ordered a second caramel apple, and she said, oh yeah, there was something off with the first one, because the second one, it's performing way better and it smells completely different. So hopefully, that's why I always include those pour dates and everything in there, because we never know what's going on with some of these factories. If you are interested in purchasing this candle, I do have a discount code with Slatkin & Co. It is Katie's Joyful Life. It should save you 15% on orders over $40. That is an affiliate code that is eligible for a commission, so please only use that if you are comfortable doing so. I do know that most of the time the ambassador codes cannot be stacked with some of their sales, but as always, I tell you guys, save the most money wherever you can get it, whether that's using my code, whether it's using your rewards, or just purchasing when candles are on sale. But yeah, I would definitely recommend purchasing this candle. I've really, really enjoyed it and see myself enjoying it again. Would I repurchase it? Honestly, you guys, if I didn't have such a huge candle collection right now that I'm feeling honestly a little bit overwhelmed by, if I didn't review candles for YouTube, yes, this would be a repurchase for me. I do really enjoy it. And it, again, like I said, could probably take you all the way through the holidays and even into the post-holiday season. That is how nice of a fragrance this is. It doesn't necessarily scream fall to me. It's definitely, just a good fall winter gourmand altogether for in my opinion. So please hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful. It helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I like to do lots of post-burn reviews like this. I also do hauls, empties, and a lot of fun candle content in between. So if you like that kind of stuff, you might want to stick around. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.